Hey guys, hope you guys are doing lovely today. Let's talk about the people we meet in life. Okay, so if you guys don't know, well, I guess maybe if you see this video after this, you will know, but the people we meet in life, I believe it's for a reason. Like everything, well, for me, I just believe that everything in life is for a reason. Like, you're going to that party, your friends are so excited, but you have this anxious feeling, and then you get there, you leave your ID at home for a reason. You're about to go to the liquor store, you're getting ready to leave, all of a sudden you forget your license at home, and then you get up on the street, and then you see as you're on your way there was an accident that happened. That could have been you. Or like, let's say you're outside, you're walking down the street, um, your earpiece falls into the street, and you pick it up, and as you raise your head, you see a car coming in front of you, and you're about to just cross the street. Things like that. But for the people, it's the same thing. People are meant to be either reasons or lessons. That's why the people we meet in life, the good and the bad, we shouldn't regret meeting anyone, because you have to realize from both the good and the bad, we realize something about ourselves. Like, there's the bad people, who they destroy you, they make you unmotivated, they make you feel bad about yourself. And they teach us that we don't want bad energy around. They teach us that we should love ourselves even more, because if we let the wrong person through the door, then it's going to make us feel worse about ourselves. And then there's, again, those bad people who they just leech off of your energy. They want you to feel as bad about yourself as they feel deep within themselves. They want to bring you to the same level as them, but them always just a step ahead of you. And it's those people who, well, they're evil, but then those same evil people, like in my instance, someone who was breaking me down, destroying me. I couldn't even say, oh, I hate this person, I regret meeting this person, because from everybody in life, you take a different aspect. And you see, if I were to say I hate this person, I regret meeting them, without meeting this person, you know, I wouldn't have been able to see new things. I wouldn't have been able to realize that I should love myself more, and that no matter how much I wanted someone to love me, I couldn't force it, and I couldn't force someone to be there who just didn't want to. And also, it was just that I couldn't, frick, what was it? It just slipped off the tip of my tongue. As much as I wanted something with someone, if they don't want it as much as you do, it just can't work. And like, even for driving, I spent a lot of time driving with this person. I wasn't really practicing driving a lot, because my parents, they're busy. My dad's not living with me, but my mom, she's always at work. So it's like I didn't have that little space in between. So without this person, I would have learned that. So if I said I regret meeting this person, who would have been there to be accessible to me to learn these things? Who would have been there to bring new poetry ideas to me about what I want and what I don't want? Who would have been there to just take me different places, and sometimes where I just needed to escape from myself? Who would have took me away? It was this person. That's why in life you have to go about things with the mindset of everything is for a reason. The people we keep, the people we let go, where the reason why some of them still stay close is because, well, I just believe the ones who are meant to stay would still be here, but the ones who are meant to go have to go. Like high school, for instance. In high school, we're all lovey dovey, friend with everyone. But then when high school is finished, who's there? And I could say the same thing for me. After high school finished, I could only say I took really just two friends with me from actual high school that I still talk to this day. Well, not constantly, but I would say, like, on an actual real life level, I would say that's two friends. Out of the many friends, how is it that only two friends left? Because those ones were meant to stay. Those people we're having a bad time with, the ones we're having a hard time getting along with, no matter how much we try to make it work, it's just not working. And then the day comes where we have to let them go because the end is just inevitable. They're not the ones who are meant to stay. And what you guys need to understand, things that are meant for you, they will stay. Things that are meant for you, they don't make you feel sad. They don't make you feel angry. They don't make you hate yourself. They don't make you think negative things about yourself, okay? Those are not people who are meant for you. How is something that's meant for you meant to destroy you? Explain. Take a second. Thank you. Certain individuals in life, they teach you stuff about yourself. And I've realized that for many individuals I've encountered, especially with the aspect in love, there's many people who just showed me that, well, no matter what I did, no matter who I tried to be, no matter what, I just couldn't make these people love me. And me, I have like a lot of dignity, and that's because, well, from for a while I've realized that, like, half-assed things in life, it's not for me and it can't be for me. And I've learned from young to not settle for less, because less is never going to be more, especially with, I mean, the wrong individual. You just can't fill up the glass and make up for the rest that's left to fill, You just have to find someone who's able to fill that whole glass. And that's why with everybody, it's like, I trusted, I tried to love, but I was always a little bit withdrawn from these people. And that's because I always had this feeling, because for me, it's like this feeling that I'm going to speak about. It's the feeling of, this isn't exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, I just knew it wasn't. And for me, it's different, because the reason why I am so alone is because you guys don't have to believe me. That's fine. But energy, I can feel energy. Not only my energy, but other people's energy. Today I was talking to my cousin, for example. She was telling me about a story of hers, and while I'm listening, I just feel my heart begin to, like, sink in. And I'm wondering, like, why. I understand someone telling you a story can make you feel emotional, but it's like, why am I feeling a hurt that feels almost as if it's my own, and it's not even mine? But it's because I just feel so deeply, and it's to the point where, like, other people's energy, when you're feeling like you're drowning, like, all of a sudden my head is underwater with you. And you see, again, for me, it's that thing right there is what keeps me away from people, because I start to pick up things that are being hidden from me. I pick up on it. It's so weird how intuition works, but it's like, there hasn't been a time where my intuition has ever lied to me or has ever wronged me, When I get this gut feeling like things are going wrong and the end is coming, what always happens? Things go wrong and the end always comes. Can you imagine, there was a day where I sat with this person who was destroying me, and we sat in the car and I was talking. It's so crazy, this story. And it's like, to you guys, it might sound like a story of make believe. And trust me, I understand if it doesn't sound real, but when I say this, I really mean it. We sat in that car and we were going back and forth, because it was a conversation about religion, and I was talking about my beliefs. This person didn't believe in anything. Well, they supposedly did, but the thing is, they said they believed in God, as in Jesus, but then they would use my religion as, well, to me it sounded like mockery. And you're saying things like, oh, alhamdulillah, mashallah, and you're saying it, but like, you're doing it in a laughing way, like you're laughing, like you're on a reaction out of me. And I was explaining, like, this is blasphemy, like, this is wrong, and the bad things that you do, it comes back to you. The same, not even 20, 30 minutes after that conversation. So 20 minutes, 15 minutes before, let's say, maybe 10, maybe 5, we get into a parking lot. And this person was, when I tell you, this person was really giving blasphemic vibes. We get into a parking lot. We're in the parking lot where I don't know if we were pulling in or pulling out, but it was one or the other. But while we're about to perform a maneuver, there was like something sticking out the floor, and it busted the cooling system in this car. So all the fluids leaked out, and it's so crazy because the fluids busted, and it was right above a sewer. And I was like, in my head, I was like, wait, do you, maybe I'm crazy. I'll admit, maybe I am crazy. But for me, it was like, how? Just like that. Just like that. You're talking about this, you're talking about that, and bam, this happens. Like, just it was right after, like, and I really made sure to say, I was like, maybe this is the power of God. That's why I made sure to say, and they were like, oh, like, don't piss me off, bro. But I was like, it could be because when you're doing this blasphemic things and you're spreading evil and you're mocking people's religion, yeah, this stuff catches up to you. So when that happened, I was like, well, look. And you see, again, the people that you meet is for a reason. This person was meant to meet me because this person, I'll admit, they were sour. At first, they were good because, at first people sell you a dream. But then after, some fruits, they stay right. But some others, they just turn sour over time. And this one individual, they turned sour. And the thing is, they were there to show me that no matter how long I chase, no matter how long I waited, no matter how much I want to see potential in someone and believe that someone could change and be better, in some people, it just does not work out. And I had to realize that from this person. And this person had to take from me and realize that good people exist. People who love themselves exist. Even if you don't love yourself, that doesn't mean others can't do it. That's what this person needed to learn from me. And they needed to also realize that no matter how evil you may be or perceive yourself to be or act, that rot that you choose to carry around, it's not always going to spread into everybody's garden, especially not mine. I'll admit, my garden went into some downtime. I had to spend some time alone. My flowers, my petals were definitely falling off my roses, but you know what? I picked myself up. I had to sit there and water my own flower back up because this person, they sat there and they plucked every petal off of me. But at the end of the day, even some dead flowers can come back. Just like the one I have in my bathroom downstairs. It would die, and then one day I would just suddenly stumble into the bathroom and see that all of a sudden the flower started to grow again. And it's just that, like, again, people in life, they teach you things. They teach you things about yourself. They teach you things about themselves. But in the end, they teach you to either be better, to move around a little bit differently, keep a guard up. But it's always a lesson that comes out of everything. That's why never regret meeting everybody, because at the end of the day, those people who you slander, those women who you call a B word after you guys get into arguments, think about the good parts. Who else gave you that? Who else would have showed you this place? Who else would have did this for you? Who else would have did this for you? Every individual brings something new because everybody's different in their own unique way. So don't lash out. Don't talk down on people just because things didn't work out your way, because at the end of the day, good things can come from everybody, even the bad ones. And for some people, I'm the villain in their books for wanting people to love themselves, for wanting people to be straightforward about what they're doing in life, and for wanting people to just literally be happy being themselves. And I'm the villain in some people's book, and some people depicted me as another thing and as this evil and whatever, but I could never be that person because I was never raised to be that person. And no, just because bad happened to me, that's not going to turn me sour. Just because this person wronged me, that doesn't mean I want to wrong other people, because at the end of the day, look how those feelings made me feel. So why would I go out wanting someone else to feel those things? You know? And that's really my message for today. Everything is for a reason. I believe life is beautiful and everything, and I mean every little thing about life was meant to be. If we have a storyline, there's a plot that we're following, and the actions and the things that happen in life is for a reason. Even death, we have to feel a little bit of grieve it. It's not something we get used to, but at the end of the day, it's something that we have to come to terms with living with. And feeling different emotions, anger, sadness, all these different things, we have to feel them one day, because, well, these feelings are going to be felt one day. That's why it started from young. When we're sad and we're angry, we go to high school sad, a little bit angry, always a little bit happy, but it's always a mix of emotions. But at the end of the day, you're building yourself up. You're building and building and building, and you're getting more immune. Things that might have triggered you 3 years ago aren't going to trigger you now, because you're getting used to it. You're protecting yourself. You're building a barrier around yourself. Okay. That's my message for today. Thank you guys for listening as always, and forever and always. Inshallah. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.